Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? We are up early for me. Robert knows it's early for me. But we got up to make this corn pudding so we could get on the road by about 11 o'clock, a little after 11. But anyway, if you've never made corn pudding and you'd like to make some for Thanksgiving this year or Christmas, just watch and see how easy it is to make, because it's not hard to make at all. You're just going to need some Jiffy cornbread mix, corn muffin mix, a can of drained whole kernel corn, any kind of corn, whatever corn you like, and then a can of cream style corn. And you're going to need 2 eggs, some sour cream, and about 5 tablespoons of melted butter. Most recipes say between 4 and 6. If I don't need the whole 6, I don't put 6 in it. Because I try not to put too much butter in my stuff. And the sour cream, a lot of recipes call for a whole cup of sour cream. And I usually use about a half a cup, maybe just a little more than a half a cup. So, you know, I'll put the recipe on there. If you want a little bit more sour cream, you can add it in. Or you can look online, and there's all kinds of these recipes. If you want to Google it and find a corn pudding recipe, you know. Basically, this is one that Robert's sister told me about a few years ago. I'd never made corn pudding. But they had made it for Thanksgiving, and I really liked it, so I wanted to know how to make it. So I kind of modified the recipe just a little bit. It's not exactly like she told me, and everybody does that. You kind of modify things to how you like it. I know she puts a full cup of sour cream. So, you know, everybody can do what they want to do. If you'd rather add in just a little bit more cream-style corn rather than sour cream, you can do that. But anyway, this works fine the way I do it. So, first of all, we're going to pour our Jiffy corn mix in here. Now, I'm going to be getting everything ready, and Mr. Robert's going to do the heavy stirring. Because every time I do this heavy stirring, I have a lot of discomfort afterwards. I don't want to really call it pain. It's not pain, it's discomfort. Let's see. Let me get a tablespoon right here. And I'm going to put my sour cream in. Now, this is how I measure. That's about a half a cup. Now, when I get done mixing it up and everything, if it looks like it's a little dry and I want to add the rest of that, I can. Then I'm going to put my cream-style corn in. This is Aldi's brand cream-style corn. It's pretty good. It's got a lot of corn in it, which a lot of cream-style corns don't have. They have a lot of the goo, but not a lot of the corn. And this is also Aldi's whole kernel corn. And here are my 2 eggs. And my 5 tablespoons of melted butter.
That's my job.
Well, I don't think it's that hard, really. I'm not mixing up anything real. I first thought he might need to do it.
You heard her, folks. She says one thing, does another. And then tomorrow or tonight, I shouldn't have stirred that. You should have helped me.
Well,
We got you on camera saying so.
And come over here, honey, so they can kind of see what it looks like. You're just going to have a really wet batter. It's kind of like cornbread batter, maybe just a little thicker and gooier, because you are. And I use a slotted spoon to do this with because it stirs it better. It mixes it up better than a solid spoon. Sometimes I do it in the mixer over here. Back when my neck was bothering me so bad last year, I'd do it in the mixer. Now, I'm going to set this aside for just a second, and you can see that doesn't need any more sour cream in it. It's plenty enough. Now, I'm going to take just a little bit of butter, and I'm going to grease this pan.
You're going to preset Corningware, right, Kathy?
Yes. Robert calls it old woman stuff, old woman dishes.
My grandma had these dishes.
I said, you can call them old woman dishes or whatever you want to call them. I call them dependable, and they last. You're not paying $25 for a dish, and it breaks just with the least little thing. These right here have been standing up for 50 years, so, you know, I like them. They cook good, and they just work good. Now, for those of you that don't know, when we talk about greasing a pan, and I guess a lot of us older cooks assume that young cooks know what greasing a pan is. When you grease a pan, you're always going to do it with either Crisco or butter or some type of oil. Something to put a layer around the pan that you're using so that things will have a tendency not to stick as bad. That especially with cakes and things like that. And when we say dust the pan with flour, you sprinkle flour over the top of it, then you shake it up, turn it upside down, and pat the bottom and get the excess out. I was doing that recipe last night for the toffee cake, and I said dust the pan, and I thought, well, do younger cooks know what dust the pan means? Do they even, and I got to thinking about that, and I thought, well, maybe I need to explain that to people, because I'm just assuming that they know, but they may not know. So once we've greased the pan here with some butter, we're going to pour this in, and we're going to bake this about 45 minutes. It's going to take anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes. And then when it's done, you just take it out, let it cool for about 15 or 20 minutes. And
what temperature, boss?
350 degrees. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Y'all see me sticking this on the side of the dish here and letting it rest on it, because that's one thing you're not supposed to do, is lift anything over 5 pounds. So you've got to be careful with what you do. That's why sometimes Robert does help me a little bit in here with this right now, because there's some things I don't need to lift.
That was pretty easy, Kathy.
This is really easy. Man, you could make this. I mean, this is first grade stuff. First grade stuff. Okay, now we're going to kind of just smooth it out a little bit. You want it kind of even as you can, because things cook better if they're even. If you got a thick side on one side and a thin side on the other, it's not going to cook even. One side's going to get too done, and the other side's not going to be done enough. That's the same thing with a cake. You always want to kind of shake your cakes and level them out to make sure they cook good. Okay, we're going to put this in the oven for about 45 minutes. I keep getting this butter on my hands. Oh, Lordy. I don't know. I can't stand to have butter on me or nothing on my hands, really. It's kind of crazy, I know, but. Okay, now, Robert's going to put this in the oven for me, and we're going to let it bake. And when I pull it out, I'll give you a picture of it, let you see what it looks like. This is so good for Thanksgiving, for a dinner, like if you're going to have a dinner. And that's what I'm taking this to today. It's just a family reunion dinner. But this is so good at Christmas or Thanksgiving. It's a different thing than just having plain corn. Corn, we have that every day. But you don't make corn pudding every day. So this is good for a special occasion. And we're going to put this in the oven, and we'll be back in...
No, we won't be back. We're going to flip his camera.
Just a minute.
Make it flip. I don't know how to do it.
Do it again.
All right, we're going to go to a gray reunion. Well, sort of, kind of. My sister, I talked to her last night. She said, boy, she lives in Virginia Beach area. And she said, I'm almost ready to cry because I can't come. And so we're fixing your dish, Debbie. So we'll shout out to my sister, Debbie. And they just got over COVID again. So we hope they feel good today. And anything else you want to say, Bob?
No, just everybody have a blessed day. Do something good for somebody else. Be good to people today. Treat them the way you'd want to be treated.
All right, we're going to go gain about 3 pounds, 4 pounds today. Hit the button, boss.
Bye, guys. Okay, guys, got the corn pudding ready. There's what she looks like. Already got her in the back of my car and getting ready to go. So, hate to rush off, but got to get on the road. I'll talk to you all later. We are going to have Bible study this coming Friday night, so you all watch and hope that I don't kill Robert today.
Come on, bosser.
See you all later. Bye.